How to receive the ball more in football. That's what we're covering in this video. Some ideas that are gonna help you get the ball more. Some other ideas that are gonna help you to train so that you're able to get the ball more. There's a few things we're gonna go over. That's coming up next. Really quick, guys, before we get started, I would like to thank the sponsor of this video, OneFootball, which you can download for free down below in the description. OneFootball is an incredible app for all football fans that want to keep up to date on the latest results internationally and at club level, keep up with your favorite club, your favorite national team. They also even have video compilations of different things, which I think is actually really cool. One of my favorite features on this app. Again, this app is absolutely free, and it's just a must for any football fanatic that wants to make sure they know what's going on in the world of football. So make sure you give some love to OneFootball by downloading it for free down below in the description. Without further ado, let's get into the rest of the video. So before we get into the first one, guys, also get my free ebook Game Changer down below if you haven't already. But without further ado, let's get into the very first one. So the first one is obvious, but I'm gonna go a little deeper with it, and it's obviously call for the ball. And I know you've heard this so many times, but you'll be surprised how many players do not call for the ball when they're available for the ball. Sometimes you need to not only let your teammate know that you're available, but you have to make it clear that you want the ball. If you're timid and even your body language shows that you don't really want it, a lot of times that will play on your teammate's mind. And you wanna make it clear, and especially when you get to higher levels, like this should be an automatic thing, but you wanna make it clear that you want it and you're available for it. Now here's the mistake I see a lot of players who go out and do this that they're doing. They start calling for the ball always, even when they're not in a position to receive it. You have to learn when it's actually good to call for the ball and when it's not. You know, if you got two men on you and you start calling for the ball, your teammates are going to start ignoring you because they're like, well, you know, Dave just calls for it no matter what, even when it's not a good option, right? But when you're open and you really need that ball, like out wide or in the middle or whatever else, call for it. Make yourself known, make yourself heard. Also understand that calling for the ball doesn't necessarily mean that you'll get it, but don't let that get you down. Just keep doing the right things and good things will start happening. But again, don't call for it all the time, you know, like especially when it's just not a good option, and make sure you are making it known that you want the ball. You have to appear like, if I get it, I'm not gonna lose it. I'm gonna actually do something good. Okay, so the next one is kind of playing off that, and it's just make sure you're getting available. You know, a lot of players will just call for the ball and not get it and, you know, kind of throw their hands up or whatever else it is. But are you even making the right runs? Are you getting into the space required for you to get the ball more? You know, make sure you're taking up those pockets of space. Make sure you're making those runs. Make sure you're utilizing space so that you're making it more likely that you'll get the ball, that you're making it so that you actually are a good option to receive it. And if you combine that with actually calling for the ball, you will get the ball more. You just will. But if you're always in positions where you're covered or the passing lane is blocked off and you're not trying to actually get into space to be available for the ball, well, then you can't really complain when you don't get it. You know, a lot of players, again, they might be a bit lazy with getting into the space they need to get into to receive the ball. Now, it's going to be different per position, and maybe we'll cover, you know, different ways to receive the ball in different positions. For example, when you're a midfield player, you might need to drop back a little, find those pockets of space if you're going forward, really make sure you're watching what's going on so you can drop into the pockets to receive the ball. And if you're not doing that, you're probably not going to receive the ball. So again, we want to focus on what we can control, which is first, again, calling for it properly, and two, making sure we're available in the spaces we need to be in to receive the ball. So third one I'm going to give you is very interesting because this plays off something I said in the first one, but I want to emphasize it, and it's what actually happens when you get the ball. Now, if you have a teammate, for example, that you play the ball to and half the time they lose it, or they don't seem confident with it, or they make the wrong choice, or whatever else, or they're just getting angry and frustrated, do you want to continue passing the ball to that person? Usually not. And so you have to make sure that when you do get the ball, you're actually not losing it. You're actually making things happen. Now, this will come down to practice, but I'll tell you one thing. If I have a teammate who, for whatever reason, just loses the ball every time I give it to him, then I'm most likely not going to give it to him every single time. Now, of course, you're gonna be playing on instinct, and sometimes that's just gonna happen, but it will be playing on my mind. So you just have to think of that as well. You know, what am I doing when I get the ball? You have to learn how to make sure you're not losing it, to, you know, retain possession, to make sure you're doing good things when you do get the ball. Because again, why would your teammate keep giving you the ball if you keep losing it? So that's just something to think about. You know, is that one of the reasons you're not receiving it? Is it because there's a lack lack of trust there between you and your teammates. You know, you need to demonstrate that you can actually do things with the ball, and or not necessarily always do things, but to at least be able to keep it. Like if they give you the ball, you're going to be able to play it back, you're going to be able to take 2 touches, play it forward, or whatever else it is. So make sure that element of trust is there, because again, no one wants to play it to a player who's going to constantly lose it. And last one I'm going to leave you with is just be confident, because again, that is conveyed to your teammates. You can tell when a player is timid, even if they're calling for it, like, oh, here, or whatever, but their body language kind of reveals that they're nervous or they're not going to do anything with it or they're going to lose it. That can be felt, right? But when you're confident and they know when they give you the ball, you're going to do something. They know that, okay, you know, Dave is confident right now. If I give him the ball, he's not going to lose it. He's going to make something happen or whatever else. It just increases your chances. Confidence is a huge thing in the sport. I want the ball to go to my teammates that are brimming with confidence. If I have a winger on my team that is super confident in their ability, is just going to be confident with the ball, I'm going to try and get it to him, especially if I'm like a center mid player, I'm going to try and get it to him often. If I have a striker who's super confident and he's really good at posting up, let's say, and I know if I play it into his feet as a midfielder, ping it in there, or I'm a defender and I ping it in there, that most likely he's going to keep it, be able to turn his man to set up some kind of link-up play, then I'm way more likely to play it to that person. But if they're timid, it looks like their head's out of the game or whatever else, I'm not going to be as inclined to do it. Even though, again, you kind of have to put your trust in your teammates, but still, if you don't think that matters, it does. You know, that will be playing on your teammates' mind. All right, guys, so those are just some ways in which you can start to receive the ball more. These are very simple things. Some you can do right away. Some you'll need to work towards, obviously, like retaining the ball and making sure you're not losing it and things like that. But these will help you get the ball more if you're applying each and every single one of them. Now, if you want me to do different videos on this topic for different positions, like how to get the ball more as a striker or a winger or whatever, let me know down below and we'll do that as well. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning into this one, and I'll see you in the next video.